Oh, ladies, gentlemen, gamers, and fellow League of Legends lovers, welcome back to another Patch Notes review. It's been 2 weeks already, oh me oh my, and I am so ready, not, to go into these patch notes. So I'm slightly annoyed because OBS Streamlabs has glitched out on me, and I had to do a lot of behind the scenes tweaking to basically have what we have in front of our faces right now, which is my capybara and the patch notes. Believe it or not, this took a while to not even fix, but to band-aid together. But we're here. The patch note does not stop, and neither do I, despite the depression. So,
I'm enjoying many
oh,
Some nightlight just got a bigger schlong and subscribed for free.
Okay, well, thank you, Botchan, for the resub. Thank you, thank you very much. And it's not cap, it actually took me a while. I was messing with this for like an hour. But anyway, we are here once again to do patch notes. So, it is April 2nd. It's almost April 3rd, but luckily it's not yet. And these patch notes came out today. I'm surprised they didn't come out yesterday, but I guess that's just how the calendar falls, because Riot doesn't want to do a lot of things, which number one includes fixing ADC, but number two includes releasing the patch on a different day for the joke. But, you know, it's April 2nd, not April 1st, but this is the April Fool's patch with the skins in them. So that's pretty exciting. Anyway, let's take a look. So, don't be a fool. Patch 14.7 is serious business. I thought that said bushiness, but I was wrong. On this week's episode of What Did We Break in the Game? It's some April Fool's shenanigans. Yeah, you want to know what the biggest joke is? They don't fix ADC. This time around, we've got a few changes when it comes to the damage coming out of the support role for a few champions, hopefully mages, and some pesky bugs that were impacting Senna and support items. Now, excuse me, I will always say this after what they did to my boy Jin. My boy, look what they did to my boy. Where when they ever say bug fix, I really question if it's actually a bug or if it's something else. So let's take a look. So I'm assuming Senna's going to get nerfed, realistically. We also got some changes to bring the solo queue terrorizer, known as Volibear, back in line. And this is where I know for a pure fact they're not talking about AD Volibear, they're talking about AP. Because I played AD Volibear somewhat recently, and that shit felt fucking terrible. As well as some tweaks to give Olaf a little more jungling power, which is disgusting. He was the top laner. We also pulled back some changes we gave Terrell in the jungle department, and then gave Silas a teeny bit more jungling power. Cool. That's terrible, but cool. We also have a few more tweaks to Galio following last week's changes to incentivize him a little bit more on getting some melee uptime. Wow, so I guess it was enough. So essentially, and you know, this could be a complaint or it could be a pat on the back. It depends on how you view it. But this is where League has been out for a while now, right? We're on patch 14.7, 14 being the key number here, where this has been out for what? 14 years, because it's a new number each year. So at a certain point, League even said this too. Now I don't know how real this is going to be. I don't know how much they're going to adhere to this, because we still haven't gotten fill but not support. So, you know, Riot says they're going to do things, but then they don't actually do them. So this is where I'm really wondering if they will actually do what I'm trying to remember. What was it? Oh yeah, so they said they're going to slow the champions down. So they said, and you know, obviously we felt this too as the years have gone on. There have been less and less champion releases, and not only releases, just reworks in general. But this is where, if the game has been out for 14 fucking years, they really got to change some stuff. So I'm not necessarily against some of these people going jungle, but it's sort of kind of the same mentality I have with Balian, except it's actually somewhat working. So it's not as bad as what I'm going to make it sound like, but everyone is going Balian. Assassins, mages, all these fuckers, except actual ADCs, and even when they go down there, they get fucked. And that's because Riot doesn't really know what else to do, or they're trying to spice up the game. They're trying to spice up the life. So I think they're doing it with jungle too, because if a laner can't go somewhere or you want to try something new on them, just have them go jungle. Because realistically, everyone in the game can go bot and it could work. But jungle is like the final frontier, so to say, at least right now. So this is where I feel like they're just tossing some people into the jungle. They're giving them like good jungle scalings, and by that I mean damage to monsters, for no other reason than like they want to spice up the game, but I don't know if that's good. Like it kind of just feels like they're throwing shit at the wall to make things different, not really balancing things as they should personally. But, some changes and some sort of chaos is good, but we'll see if it is. They need to fix ADC. Anyway, we also threw in a bunch of ARAM changes. Cool, cool, cool. No one cares. Oh, we have the DirectX support being updated too. Let's see what that means. So, the April Fool's skins are coming out. No lie, no joke. I think these skins are some of the best skins we've gotten in a while, and that's saying something. It's so crazy to me how the ultimate Samira skin, which realistically is a legendary, and a lot of the legendary skins coming out that are resharing animations are so ass. Like, I've always said this, but League in the past has never taken away budget from the skins department. They've taken away budget from everything else except that, but it honestly feels like they're taking away from that. And especially what's happening with the phone game Wild Rift, they're getting PvE game modes now for the Ruination event they're doing. It is actually insane how much regular League is getting shafted when compared to the fucking phone game. The phone game has better skins, PvE events, better everything. League is shit. So, it's really sad. In another two of my games that I'm playing, Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail, I kind of went through this metamorphosis where I started with Genshin, and then I went to Star Rail, and now I like Star Rail more. I'm really hoping something happens with League with that, where it's like I like League, something else comes along that's similar to it, and I just like it more. And I realize how shit League is, even though I already witnessed it, but I just still play it because I'm sick. Anyway, so we have the April Fool skins, which ironically enough and sadly enough are some of the best skins we've had in a while, and I'm shocked by it. But we'll go over that at the end. So here we go. Finally, we are getting the Skarner VGU now. Some stuff to talk about this. I'll go over it momentarily here. I think Skarner's VGU took a lot of time to come out. Well, I don't think it did. But the main reason was not because they were lollygagging or because they were like dragging their feet. It's because Skarner's code was so fucked, and I actually give them a little bit of a pass now. If I did not know that one piece of very crucial information, I would have really rated this a lot more worse than I would have normally, because them fixing their spaghetti code is always good, and for some reason a lot of stuff relied on Skarner, and I don't know why. Old Skarner, mind you. So taking away that issue, that blemish from Skarner's very pretty face now, very smooth, even though somewhat chipped from his battles, I think the Skarner VGU is pretty good. Now, is it great and amazing? I don't know. I think it's definitely great. I wouldn't say amazing. I would say it's probably better than Mundo's. I think like it still kept the original champion intact while just making them better and bring them to current day. I think it's really good. His ult is nice. I like that you can miss it. I think that's going to be pretty fun. And everything about Skarner is just good. His skins are amazing. His look is amazing. I love his max percent health tick. I really, really like that. I'm not even joking about that. I actually really like that. But aside from that, I think Skarner overall is probably pretty good. Now, am I excited on him? Is he making a big wave for me personally? No. Will he for a little bit? Probably, because people are going to play him and annoy me. But, we'll see. We'll see. I think overall this is probably a good thing, though. His kit's great. He has a new little Kane-esque mechanic. His ult is AoE, kind of. I think it's great. I think new Skarner is really, really cool. And that's all I'll say for that. So, Shop Riot Games is getting depreciated. On April 9th, they will be shutting down the Riot Games shop. Cool. So you can't buy it on the site, you have to go to the client. Nice. And then DirectX 9 is also getting canned. Let's see what they say about this. So, if you're currently not the game will automatically disable this option and won't remove support. And then if you basically have to use DirectX 9, they basically said eat shit. Which I think is honestly fair. So, finally moving on to what we're here for. The balance, hopefully. So, Camille, I think personally, now I haven't seen her much, but I think Camille is really, really strong. Well, not really strong. Really, really strong. I think she's decently strong. I think Camille late game is a force to be reckoned with. I think mid and late game she's actually insane. Now, the issue that comes up with top lane is she as crazy as the others? I think later on in the game she's pretty good. I just think early game is probably when she's weakest. So, I think if they fix that, Camille will be a force to be reckoned with. So let's see what they're doing. Q bonus move speed increased, cooldown decreased, W enter cone damage increased, E damage increased. Okay, what does this mean? Let's see what they're saying. So Camille's in a pretty sad state in top lane, okay, because of the walls, okay. So they might even touch her more in the future, but they're going to give her a band-aid for right now. And what are they buffing? Her laning phase, which is her weakest point, which is good. It's good that they're buffing it. It's not good that it's her weakest phase. But anyway, which is power she'll carry to the rest of the game. We're mostly giving her better sustained target access. Okay. Oh. And they're talking about support Camille. That's disgusting. So what are they doing? So the Q is going to more bonus move speed and lesser cooldown. That's pretty good. And you max Q first, so you're going to feel it very quickly. So the W. So the damage is going up by 1%. That's pretty good. And then the hook shot, the damage is going up down at the base level by 20. Honestly, I think that's fine. I don't think the E should be doing great amounts of damage anyway because of how useful it is. But aside from that, Camilla is decently better. Is she a lot better? Nah, I think she's pretty alright though. Fiora. Fiora is one of the top tier, I think, top champions. Pro wise, I don't know because I'm not watching pro, but in general, I think Fiora's pretty good. So what are they doing? They're lowering her base AD by 2. So she's a bit too strong. She's a bit weaker now. Whoopee. Galio. Oh my god, they're doing a lot. So why they keep trying to change certain champions. Now, I'm all for it, right? I'm all for them constantly updating champions, but when we have issues like Cassante where they have to keep nerfing it, or issues like what is apparently now Galio where they have to keep buffing it, to me it gets really confusing what the intention is because I feel like it's going to be a Wukong situation again where they're going to rework him, they're going to tune him, and then he's going to be garbage and nonsense and no one's really going to use him that much, and he's going to have like 1 second of fame similar to kind of Varus too. Varus goes through the same thing. So I'm really worried that Galio is going to keep getting like buffed until he's really good, and then after one patch he's going to be terrible again. But let's see. So last patch they preemptively nerfed Galio to ensure the changes didn't land too strong, which is ironic because I don't think Galio's that strong. He landed weaker than we expected. We'll be walking back on the nerfs since they're no longer necessary. Nice. So what are they doing? So the passive is going up by 5%. That's nothing. The W, like they have so many numbers here, but realistically, it's like such a small change. I wish they would just put it as like a tinier text at the bottom of everything. Like, okay, this is what we actually changed, so you don't have to read the whole thing. But that's just me complaining. Anyway, so the magic damage reduction is. Oh, wait. Wait a minute. 4% bonus magic resist, bonus health. Oh, so now it scales differently. Okay, it scales now also off of AP. Okay. So your W magic reduction is going up. Huh. Wow. Galio really is anti-mage. That's crazy. And that's good. I think they should play into his fantasy more with that. Either way, his justice punch, his justice fucking going up slightly with the base damage. That's pretty good. It has a really, really high scaling. Like, if you want to troll around and build full AP Galio, I think that should actually would probably feel pretty decent. Anyway, Galio is a little bit better. I still think he's probably weak, but we'll see. Until he's overbuffed, I feel like he's a feast or famine character because realistically, playing him the right way that he's supposed to be played as a sort of like pseudo support is not what's fun. So they're either going to build him full AP when he's OP, or when he's not OP, they're just not going to play him because it's not fun otherwise. Because for some reason, people have an issue with going support. Anyway, moving on to Karma, the jack of all trades support, as I like to call her. I don't know how she feels. I haven't really played too much Standard Rift. I'm now a casual player mostly. I play ARAM, even though I have been dabbling in ranked a little bit. I play ARAM. I play All for One, so I'm not really too keen on where Karma is right now. But she's always around the middle, so let's see what they're doing. Karma's changes last patch landed pretty close to our goal. I wonder what that is. We still want to do a little more to preserve her support power. Oh, excuse me. So they're decoupling her E-ranks from mantra E numbers to make it more in line with the rest of her abilities. Oh. These changes should net around 20% increase in shielding for secondary targets. So her W root is getting a little bit better, which is kind of random. And then her R. Now it's more in line with the alt than with leveling E. So they don't want you to level E, they want you to level Q. That's basically it. Cool, Karma's a little bit better. A little bit. Kane, what do I think of Kane? I think Kane sucks cock. I think blue Kane blows balls. I think red Kane is always the best. Usually. And I've said this many times. So what are they doing? Um Shadow Assassin Kane took a big hit because of Profaned Hydra getting slapped in the face with a cock. He's got some half decent builds, so we'll be buffing him up. Interesting. So the Q damage at base, no, scaling wise, up by 5%. Nothing. Cool. Luxana. What do I think of Lux? I mean, Lux is like your classic, like, she's one of the most popular characters in the league, which is why she has so many skins. But Lux is fairly decent. Like, if Ezreal is supposed to be the intro beginner for ADCs, I think Lux is the intro beginner for mages. Like, Lux has always been pretty standard. She does decent late game. She does pretty decent, actually. I wouldn't even say decent. I would say good late game. She's not great. She's not a hyper, but she does a lot of what she needs to do. Where if the team is keeping up, she definitely is making an impact. Can she do it alone? No. Can most people? Probably not. But does she work well? And if you're good at her, will you feel a lasting impact? Absolutely. Now, the main issue I have with Lux is number one, she's played by a lot of e-girls, and number two, those e-girls like to play her quote unquote support. So hopefully we see something hitting that. Lux support is getting hit by the Zac changes this patch, which I hope is a nerf. And since she's currently at a reasonable power level, we'd like to give her a compensation buff. Oh, nah. Alright, so what are they doing? So her passive, which I actually think is fine to get buffed, is now scaling by 5 extra percent. That's fine. I actually think one of the things about the passive that's fair is, like, you need to go up and auto them. Like, it's not like her E where you can just toss out and do it. Like, the passive does require some sort of next logical step from her abilities, rather than just shoot it out and explode it near their vicinity, which is good. I actually think buffing the passive is not only fine, but it's fair, which is nice. Even though it's only 5%. So her Q. Her Q is going up by, you guessed it, 5%. Whoopee. Lux is slightly better, but we'll see how bad they nerf Zax. So Nami, I think Nami is like the perfect mix of like a mage and a support at once. She actually does pretty decent damage early. I mean, later on she's not going to do anything damage-wise, but that's fine. But if you want to play like a hybrid actual support that somewhat feels like a mage early, play Nami. Nami can actually be really aggressive, really fucking strong, and really annoying early if the player's good enough. She's not as easy and brain dead as Lux, but she's still pretty good. Now, I'm a little scared what they might do to her. I think Nami's one of the best supports, personally. Now, the sad part is when she's the best is usually when they're abusing some sort of item combination, which is not cool. So, we'll see what's happening now. Nami is at one of her historically weakest points, and we think she could use a little love. Oh, I don't mind giving her that. In line with our other changes around support damage, we're pulling some mid-game damage through her E rank and WAP ratios and re-adding it to her healing. Oh. Oh, damn. Oh, I'm getting tired. These patch notes are draining me. So, that's interesting. So, I just complimented the fact that Nami could do damage if she's good enough, and she probably still could, because realistically, they're probably only taking off 5%. But they really want to focus Nami more into the supporting niche, not the damaging hybrid niche, which is interesting. So, let's take a look. So, her her W is getting nerfed. So this is interesting. So they'll buff. Okay, all right. Now I'm getting pissed. They're gonna buff Lux with compensation buffs, but they're nerfing Nami, even though she's at one of her historically weakest points. Like, what? So what are they doing? They're reducing her damage and her scaling. For the healing, they're upping it by actually a pretty good amount. Holy shit. And the bounce fall off is getting slightly lower, so that's fine. So the W's not bad. Okay. Better than I thought. I didn't think they were going to give back that much, but... And then the E magic damage on Tide Callers is getting nerfed by 20 base. It's not bad. I think Nami. This is a weird thing. I don't know if I should say if this is good or bad. It's definitely different. I mean, is it enough to really change stuff? No, not really. Right? It doesn't really do that until mid-season or preseason, whenever that even is now. So I feel like Nami won't be too different, but they're definitely trying to push her more to support, which is good in some ways, interesting in others. Because I actually like that she does decent damage early. Oh my god, they're actually touching Nasus. I can't believe this. So, for those of you who don't know, even though I'm the master ADC main, I'm actually also the Nasus connoisseur. Now, I love stacking. I think stacking is amazing. I love stacking champions. I love everything. What the fuck could they be doing with Nasus? I think Nasus, after everything, has probably not landed well. They probably have to buff him. And I think that's mostly because of an item thing. So, unless they're buffing his direct items, which I doubt they are, they're probably just going to give him hopefully some baseline kit stuff. They're not going to do anything crazy, obviously, most likely, but they definitely got to buff something because Nasus is not feeling as good as he used to. So, what are they doing? Nasus hasn't been performing well in solo queue. I wonder why. We feel that he scales really well but struggles in lane. And this is actually the fun fact here. Nasus scales decent, right? But the issue is most of Nasus's power spec where he's like at his strongest is in mid game, not late game. Because late game, once you start team fighting, you're actually gonna get pretty quickly fucked, even as Nasus. Like you might take 1-2 with you if you're lucky, but in an actual game of like equal leveled people, I feel like Nasus kind of just shits the bed later on in the game. Mid game, when he could just like get the 1v1, the 1v2s, and not have to 5v5 is a lot better, or get squatted 5v1. But I'm actually really curious. So what are they doing? So he scales really well, but struggles in lane, which is true. I mean, that's the whole point of him. He's able to be punished harshly. That's very true, depending on the champion. But that's what counterpicking does. So we like to reduce some of that harshness by increasing his Q damage to help him stack and trade better when using it on his opponents early. We're also pairing this with an increase to his passive. What? And because Divine Sunder is no longer in the game, they don't need to keep it lower. Cool. So the lifesteal is gaining 1% back early and then 3% back late. That's pretty okay. He gets a lot of lifesteal for no reason. And then the Q. The Q is going up by 10. This is nothing. Cool. So then we have Broloff. What are they doing to my boy Broloff? I played Olaf recently. He really needs an update. Like, there's some champions that just feel old and feel like shit, Shyvana being one of them. I think Olaf is definitely the other one who kind of needs it. So they're probably not going to change anything with him visually, but let's see what they're doing on the gameplay side. Olaf is intended to be a solid jungler, but that has come with a hard time lately. Good. And similar to Silas, he's undertaking. He's already strong in solo lanes. We'd like to give him better tool. Da, da, da. Okay, so he's getting bonus damage to monsters. He's getting a longer attack speed with W. Costing more really doesn't matter at all. And then the E is actually way more incentivized to be used in the jungle. That's actually crazy. And then Ragnarok, for some reason, his ult has a mana cost now. I don't know why, but I feel like on the side of champions with mana problems, Olaf is at like the top of the list, where it's like he barely has some, but he does have some if you're not careful. And I've definitely noticed it because I played him in One for All. But yeah, Olaf is decently better. Definitely could go jungle, although I don't think it's good. People will probably still do it. So Rek'Sai, are we finally done? Are we finally done like having Rek'Sai be the spotlight? Because every patch they need to buffer. They need to buffer. They're like, oh guys, sorry, we did not go with our mini rework, so we're just gonna keep touching her. So we'll see how it ends out. Let's see. I'm not seeing a lot, so that's a good sign. Rek'Sai is slightly too strong as a jungler. Wow, but not unreasonably so. Oh, as a top laner though, she's an immovable object. Why is Rek'Sai top good? We're pulling her top lane specific levels in order to bring down her early sustain. Huh. Interesting. So, she's gaining almost nothing from the minions. Cool. Interesting. So the heal isn't changing. It's just how fast you gain them. I think that's pretty good. Will it actually nerf top Rek'Sai? I don't know. I don't really know what the problem is, but they kept buffing Rek'Sai, so surprise, surprise. Okay, now we have Rel. Rel is interesting. I still don't know fully, and this is like a blemish on my career, but For some reason, Rel only is the only person who, after their VGU, or not VGU, but like their ASU, I guess, um, that I still don't really know their kit. I know the Q stuns. I think everything else is the same. I know the ult is the same, but aside from that, I really don't know. So let's see. What are they doing to Rel? Rel has a long health spot, and pro plays the low economy jungler who succeeds at securing objectives. Wow, very little gold. However, the specific set of strengths is a very small set of players and have all the experience for making adjustments. Okay, so they're basically saying like only the pros can use her properly is what I'm getting up what they're putting down essentially. Okay. Ripping off the bench and removing all of Rel's jungle monster modifiers. Wow. And they even know what they're doing. They're removing effectively her second role from the game. Wow. Also, modifiers carried a bit of power for support gameplay, giving her a small direct buff. Wow. And if it's not enough, we're happy to give her a little bit more in 2 weeks' time. Damn. Yeah, I feel like Rel is interesting. I feel like Rel again is like the better Wukong. I'm always gonna go to Wukong as like the worst ever rework in my eyes because it took so long. They shared so much project or progress on it, and then it came out and I was like, where'd the work go? I was like, God damn. But either way, let's see what they're doing. So Rel is going from a little bit more MR. All her damages against jungle monsters are removed. So thank God she's not a jungle anymore. That's good. Yeah, now people have to people have to play her stupid ass support. Good for her. Senna. Okay. Let's see what this quote unquote bug fixes. So we noticed a bug that arrived in 14.1 that made Senna get the full drop chance from allied support item executes, which would substantially increase her power. Oh. We're fixing this quote unquote bug, even though I think it was intentional until now. In this patch, we'll return to our on-skill drop chance near where it was before. So let's see. So an ally support kill on a minion is going to give you 8.4, which kind of sucks dick, especially from 28. And then the base drop chance is going to go from 2.8 to 8.4. Damn. Huh. So I guess you don't have to rely on anyone else for the most part. You can just sort of a little bit rely on yourself. That's actually pretty good. Senna's a little bit better. Not crazy, but actually, yeah, I actually think it's fine. Anyway, Smolder. So what do I think of Smolder? Now that we've had a patch to sit with the changes, which again, like I said before, I think they were actually pretty needed. Not too needed, but pretty needed. It was kind of ridiculous. Now, if they kept it in, I would have been happy. The fact they took it out made me sad, but let's see what they're doing. So, I hope they're gonna buff him. Smolder got hit pretty back or hard pretty back last patch, so we're returning some power. Oh, so they're never gonna give it to the Q because the Q is basically his whole kit. It can stand up to be more baseline durability, and now, oh, his Super League game power isn't nearly as a guarantee. We're going to return some damage. Okay. So his base stat is going up by 2. Oh my god, what's his... Oh my lord. Jesus, what is this scaling? Wait. Most fills are based on critical hit chance. That's not bad, huh? Okay. So, I'm surprised they're actually buffing the Q. I mean, if I had like my perfect world, I would have just made Smolder like scale infinitely, especially with the health threshold. Just make it a lot slower because them just capping at 6.5 really made me upset. But Smolder's slightly better, and they're really incentivizing him to build a crit. However, this is where the issue runs in. Where now are people going to go what Riot wants them to go, or are they gonna do their own thing, which is build like the nonsense I build, which is the Vori Quick Blades, which has crit. What the fuck is that stupid thing? It's not Force of Nature. It's like the green Spirit Shojin. That's what it was. So they built Spirit of Shojin. They basically built a lot of not traditional crit items, and it's like Smolder was supposed to be the traditional ADC, and the thing he does the least of, ironically enough, is auto attack. So isn't that funny? Again, Riot says something and something else entirely happens. But is this good for him? Yes. Is it enough? Probably not. Smolder's slightly better. Sona. I feel like they haven't touched Sona in a while, and she is like extremely, extremely squishy. Like Sona is like fucking paper. It's insane. But anyway, let's see what's happening. So, passive staccato, damage increase. Sona, like Nami, is getting her defensive and utility outputs buffed with a compensating buff nerf to the fairly invisible Q aura. The auras are what separate like a good Sona from a bad Sona, ironically enough. Excuse me. Let me take a quick swig real quick. Hold up. Mm, help the little throat. Okay, so reducing up her Q passive just because it's currently the weakest option, which is true. Expect these changes to be power and appreciation of Persona and her allies. So let's see. Her staccato damage bonus is going from 40 to 50. So across the board, every one of her power chords is getting better, I think. Maybe. Or is that just the Q one? I think that might be just the Q one, actually. I'm not sure. Either way, her Q is getting halved with the scaling, which is terrible. Even though it's 20 to 10, that is technically half. So that's sad. Her heal, which I already thought was Wiener, is getting doubled in scaling, which is decent, even though she doesn't build too much AP. And then her E is going, oh, from 14 to 18. That is not bad at all. Wow. She's getting slightly more move speed. Sona's a weird champion. I think Sona's really easy. If there was ever an actual intro support champion, you would go Sona. It would teach you, number one, not to end because you're squishy as paper. And number two, if you just press the button, you have sort of a benefit. So that's good. Either way, Sona's slightly better, nothing crazy. Same as usual. Alright, the Vol here, the Volibear. So hopefully they buff AD, even though they're probably not going to. They're probably just going to nerf AP and then leave AD in the dirt. But let's see. While we deeply love the bear editor, add not designer note, he's still been a bit too much of a menace in solo queue, and we're not seeing that he's slowed down much. Wow. First removing expectation, breaking interaction between his Q and Sundered Sky. Oh. Which was granting him extremely large amounts of burst damage. Second, we think he needs a little bit more siphoned off. And we feel like Bear enjoys that they really value the move speed of his Q more. Oh? Then the frequency of the R. What? Oh my god. Again, I feel like they're kind of taking away Volibear's thematic. Now, this is only one part of his thematic. I think the other part where he chases you down like an animal is pretty funny and kind of accurate. But I'm sad they're nerfing the tower thing. So let's see. So his Q. Crits only increase Volibear's attack damage instead of totally applying ability damage. Oh wow, holy shit. So it was kind of functioning like a pseudo Wudo of Shadow Flame. Except better. That's crazy. And then our Stormbringer, let's see. So the cooldown is going up by 10, 15, and then 20. Damn, you would think he's like an enemy of the state with what he did for them to like lock up all these old things. That's crazy. Either way, Volibear is slightly worse. Nice. So Silas. Silas is a weird one. I'm gonna be honest. I hate Silas. Actually, I don't mind him. I've played him once or twice. I think Silas isn't as complicated as some other people like Akali, but he's still just as effective, if not more, if you are skilled at him. So, Silas is an interesting case. I really don't understand why they're making him jungle, but let's find out. Silas jungle has been quite a weak point for him lately. Of course, it should be, but he has a player base that we'd like to support. Since he lacks any room mid and we're separating his Q modifier to hasten his jungle clear, this change isn't intended to make Silas a top tier jungler. Oh. We're about to make him more functional to those who play it. Oh wow, so balance. Sorry, not balance. They're mostly doing it for casuals, it sounds like. But anyway, what are they doing? His Q is getting a lesser damage on the initial 3 minions. That's fine. Silas is actually it's almost double. Holy shit. I would actually say Silence got a bit of damage on this. Wow, that's kind of crazy. So, Zizzarat, the item that most mage supports build. They need to either nerf this shit or remove this shit, but this shit's annoying. Let's see. Okay. So the Void Empress does or not Void Empress, sorry. The Void Explosion does 20 plus 20%, 4% to max. Okay, so slightly nerfed in almost every aspect, damn. And then the cooldowns are going equalized to 10. I don't like that. I don't like how they're equalizing the cooldown. I think the cooldown being like lesser later is actually really good, especially for team fighting. But that's just me. Anyway, let's go next. Sorry, Zag. So I was about to say Zizarat. Um, I mean, hmm. They're saying they're looking at it from this patch, but I think Zizarat is probably okay. I mean, you're gonna. I don't want to say anything, but I don't want to encourage more mages in the volume. But realistically speaking, only really mages are gonna use this. So if it gets nerfed, goodbye, good riddance. Blood Song. I still have never built this item, but I heard it's pretty good. Lucian Nami abused it. Surprise, surprise. And nothing more to really say about it. Zach's for content. So they're just lowering the damage, which is crazy. Mandate, an item I never really see that much anymore, is getting buffed, kind of. Wait, no. Yeah, actually, wait. I believe Imperial Mandate is getting buffed. HP wait, no, it's getting nerfed. What am I saying? HP damage 12. Yeah, so it's scaling a little bit less with their max health, which is sad, but it's good. As much as I love max health, I'm definitely a traditionalist where it should be only, or it should only be in the certain role, aka AD. So they should just help the AD do damage, never do more than them, never supplement them, but decently well. I think this is interesting. I definitely reacted to it jumping the gun. But anyway, static. This item sucks fucking cock. I don't understand why people build it. I really don't. I think I've said enough about static over the history of it coming back, but God, I dislike this weapon. So static shift is a bit too strong. Wow. Now that the crit, oh damn, what the hell? Oh, now that crit ADCs have a great late game awaiting them. Oh, are they changing something? We adjusted the cost so that doesn't hastily bring them to late game. Oh, so they just get it because it's kind of cheap, I guess. Because the passive really is shit on it. So they're adding 200 gold to it, which is interesting. Um, I mean, they're really just nerfing it, but I guess we'll see with the ADMs. So, World Atlas. At last. What are they doing to this thing? We've seen a decline in double support items in most regions. We're still seeing some teams do double support items. Wow. This change should ensure that no longer a thing is happening and supports it, just like fill but not support. Yeah, okay. Okay. An excessive minion kill threshold 20 and 5 to 20. Okay. This update applies to all support. Wait, what? 3 minions in 5 minutes, 20 minions. Oh, it's divided by the number of support items. Oh yeah, no, this definitely tackles it. Supports are already scrounging for gold, so adding this is going to be really good. So, World Atlas is, and by extension, all the other support items are slightly worse for actually farming with your champ. That's actually kind of funny. Anyway, World Atlas is fine. ARAM balance changes. As much as I would love to read these, I do not have time. So let's keep going. Quick play update. I forgot quick play was a thing. All I play is ranked. And the stupid game modes. So, as a post-launch follow-up, we've bundled quick play bug fixes and quality life improvements. Okay. New layers, guy box. So it looks like they're just doing a lot of house cleaning work on this. Okay. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Okay. I think I get it. So, wow, there's a lot here. So they're just making it better through the client, from what I'm hearing. Rank restricted players were abusing quick play. I mean, they're gonna abuse something. They don't want to play regular league. That's a mental sickness. An even bigger mental sickness is no lifing ranked, but some people can't choose what they do for a living. Um. Hmm. Overall, I think quick play is a good thing overall. I mean, I think this is fine. It's just getting better. Bug fixes, quality of life, we don't care about because there's so fucking many. Holy shit. And finally, my favorite part. The Oh God, the April Fool skins, which I ended up glazing in the beginning. So overall, these April Fool skins, I actually think, like I said before, are so good. I was shocked at the level of effects that they put on these skins. Now, some of the skins, like Durian Defender Ram is here, I don't really fully understand. I guess he's supposed to be some sort of jungle creature, like a fucking fruit or something. It's pretty funny. I guess maybe he's a monkey. I don't really know. But he kind of looks like a Pokemon there. But Durian Defender Rammus is not bad. I think it's the weakest skin of the bunch. Choo Choo Orn should honestly be a fucking legendary. And if it is, I'll be shocked. I honestly don't know if it is or isn't, but Choo Choo Orn is like a skin people have wanted forever, along with Trucker Orn. And the fact that they actually did it and it's good is insane to me. Now, I didn't know, excuse me, that they are releasing a Twitch skin and a Zack skin. And the names alone for these skins, Cheddar Chief Twitch and Zesty Dip Zack, are hilarious. I thought this was just a Twitch skin. Now, I think the best Twitch skin, or one of the best ones, is oh my god, which one is it? It's like Pickpocket Twitch. It's like the fantasy one where he's in the party as like the pickpocket. I think that was the best because his voice squeaks in it. There's other skins that I think have slightly better effects, even though you can't do really much with Twitch, which is why they probably haven't given him a legendary yet, even though I'm hoping for that. But I feel like this skin has the potential to be pretty good. I mean, we're gonna see what the chromos what it actually looks like in game, but I think the Zack skin more than anything is really good too. Like this whole theme is amazing, and I haven't seen these two skins. Every other skin I've kind of seen, and the effects on those are amazing. So I wouldn't doubt this is amazing too. And then finally, Toy Terror Cho'Gath. Now I recently played Smite, right? I go back to Smite every so often. I actually started on Smite before League, and Smite is a pile of shit. Like, I'm just gonna come out and say it, and I've said it before. Smite is really a pile of shit. However, the one thing Smite has, or sorry, two things Smite has, which are really enveloped in one, is skins. Not only do they do collabs, which League does its bootleg version of with Star Guardian, with Super Galaxy and stuff like that. They do their bootleg versions, but the skins in Smite are just so much more varied, so much like higher quality than the champions themselves, that it makes me kind of jelly when I go on there. I'm like, wow, these are amazing, great skins. Now, are they cheap? No. Are they still there? Yes. So I feel like Tiny Terror, or sorry, not Tiny Terror, Toy Terror Cho'Gath is something that would have come out in Smite, and I'm glad to see it in League, and I actually think it's a pretty good skin. Cho is another person who needs like a visual update, but who knows when he's gonna get that, especially with all these skins. But this skin is absolutely amazing. All these skins look pretty fucking good. I'm very happy with them. So let's see. Due to a small issue with Zesty Dip Zack and Cheddar Chief Cheese. Wait, what? Cheddar Chief Cheese. Oh. Cheddar Chief Cheese will be releasing with less delicious chroma names than intended. Oh? So let's see. So Durian Defender looks funny as shit because of his face. Choo Choo Orin is goaded. Cheddar Chief Twitch looks kinda interesting. I gotta see the effects. Toy Terror Cho'Gath is amazing. Zesty Dip Zack is funny as shit, even though I don't think it looks that good. And then for some reason we got Cosmic Sting Skarner with his chromos, but those chromos look really fucking good. Now, ironically enough, the funny thing is they're using the old Skarner model for this picture. They're not even using the new one, which is hilarious. But anyway, that's going to be the patch notes. Overall, pretty boring patch notes. Nothing crazy as usual. I mean, even if they're boring, I'd still like to go over them, and I still do. But this one, I really didn't feel anything. Like, ADC barely got buffed, if anything else. I mean, quote unquote, support mages got nerfed, kind of, even though they buff Lux anyway for some reason. So, overall, I'm just going to rate this patch notes like a. Hmm. I want to see name it like a 4 out of 10 Mark Miles. Like, it's not terrible. They did do some good things, but these patches are boring, man. And granted, they're going to be boring because it's like in between seasons, but I really think they're not fixing the problem. Like, I would have liked to see Smolder a little bit more buffed, and they need to just fix ADCs and the whole meta of Bali, which they're not going to do. I'm holding out hope for 2025 because League said, or sorry, Riot said, like 2025 is the year of League, but our minds are going to get blown, and we already know it's not going to be the MMO, so I'm very curious. I'm still having fun with League though. League feels pretty okay if you're not playing ADC most of the time. So it's not bad. It's just I've now become a more casual player. So that might also affect kind of how I see the game because I'm not seeing it from a ranked perspective as much anymore. Especially, excuse me, especially since I'm not going in ranked as much anymore. But I don't, this is interesting. This is very interesting. I mean, they've already made like sweeping changes to jungle and stuff to make the game just generally easier. But maybe it's infected me, or maybe I'm too old. Who knows? But either way, this is definitely a 4 out of 10 Mark Miles. This patch was pretty boring aside from the skins. And, I can't wait to come back in 2 weeks and do it again. Whoopee. Anyway, I hope everyone enjoyed. That's going to be it for me. And I hope to see everyone in 2 weeks.